having delivered an outstanding presentation at the SARA conference, you really need to watch our next guest, Mechell Chetty. Mechell, welcome to the studio. What was the essence of your presentation?
Well, Michael, I really talk a lot about where the world is going, the future of work, and how that's impacting our consumers as well. There's a lot of talk about digital, artificial intelligence, and that's really something that we have to embrace. It is our future, it is our present as well. How do we bring that alive in the employee experience so that we can get people immersed in digital, enjoying digital and experiencing a better work environment because they're more connected, and also how they can unleash their potential.
Yes.
Because we have freed them of menial tasks that they have to do day to day, the boring, mundane tasks. And when you're able to do that, you are freeing the minds of people to really be able to serve the customer, really bring value to the customer, and unlock their potential. So that's the essence of the talk.
Fantastic. Now, EX equals CX. Employee experience should equal the consumer experience. It's a new phrase that I'm starting to hear in my world of change an awful lot. In fact, I interacted with a major automotive company that's got a massive presence here in South Africa. And they're engaging on that profile for next year for all of their staff, that the employee experience must match the focus that we have on the customer experience. I know it's a new term. How many people are starting to get the concept?
Well, I think there are many organizations starting to work with this, and they're starting to work and reframe their conversations around typical historical concepts around organization design is now starting to talk about networks and how do we create networks? How do we create flex experiences? And what do I mean by that? Just the other day I was talking to one of our customers, our retail customers at Unilever. And he was wanting to know what's happening in our world in terms of how we're creating an employee experience. And through that conversation, I said to him, well, I'd love to send one of my HR people into your world, and let's collaborate. Let us share what we know, but we also know that you're growing tremendously, and you've come from a founder's mentality.
Right.
We're a huge multinational, and we can learn something about the startup mentality, the founder's mentality, entrepreneurial spirit, whilst you can learn something from us around creating the value chain of the employee experience. These collaborative experiences actually bring together the employee experience and the customer experience.
Wow.
Because the minute I send my employee there, they're immediately immersed in the customer's environment. They're immediately trying to solve the customer's solution, and not necessarily an internal problem that we have.
So collaboration between organizations, breaking down the old industrial hierarchies or silos, if you will. You're a firm proponent and believer and practitioner of that.
Yes, and I talk a lot about how the world of intellectual property is really shifting, and our paradigms need to shift around that. What truly is intellectual property these days? I mean, you can go on YouTube and pretty much find any kind of content. So our differentiators are changing in the world of disruption.
If there was one single thing that you advised our audience to do, what would that one thing be, Mechell?
The one thing I would do is to say that, we tend to think that the one concept I constantly face is we tend to think that digital and this form of disruption is actually going to take away from jobs. The minute we start thinking in a constrained environment like that, we don't help ourselves. What we should be thinking about is how are jobs going to be redefined? How are we going to create jobs, and how are we going to create meaning for people? And through growth of these organizations from a digital platform, we can create jobs. Jobs will just take on a different form.
Wow. So study, adapt, change and grow.
Absolutely. Agility is the next term that's going to take us there.
The buzzword on everyone's lips. Well, we'll watch out for that. Mechell, thank you so much for being with us on SARA Television.
Thank you so much.
And thank you for presenting at the conference.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.